Bloodbath by Riot. Most downloaded, most liked, Extreme Demon. A lot of people go for it as their first Extreme Demon. But there are some tips and tricks that I will be showing you. Yeah, let's get into it. So level starts out with this tiny straight fly into this slow speed portal that a lot of people like to attempt 100 times on their phone before beating Stereo Madness and then comment, oh my gosh, I made it to 2% guys, please like my comment. But this is actually not a difficult straight fly even on mobile. So basically the first thing is this structure, and this structure trip up a lot of people where you've got them separated by one gap, but they're offset by one block, as you can see. What you want to do is you want to click once to fall through here, like it's go diagonal, basically. And then you want to go diagonal up through here. Just click lightly once and go down, and then hold up into this slow speed portal, straight fly, and then we're just going to fall. And then we fall. This is a yellow orb, and then this is a yellow portal. So you just need to hit the orb hard enough for you to hit these portals here. If you miss the orb, or if you don't hit it hard enough, you're just gonna die. So you just have to hit this. You can hold up, it doesn't matter, but you just have to do this. And then right here, there's gonna be a yellow orb. A lot of people hit this and then wonder why they die. The actual orb that you wanna hit is this blue orb, which is hidden in this portal matrix. So you're just gonna wait a little bit after you see the yellow orb to hit this blue orb and fall down into the next section. Then what we're going to do here is, this is a straight fly, so it's going to switch gravities, which trips a lot of people up. The number one tip, and I learned this from technical, you click until you reach the portal, and you don't want to click into the portal. It just screws you up. It just completely screws you up. So you want to wait before you hit the portal to allow your ship to just naturally do the gravity change, which is a bit hard to explain, but I'll enable speed hack here. Basically, we're going to click until we reach the portal, and then we're just going to let go. And it does the gravity transition seamlessly. Same with this, just completely seamless transition. Once you get into this slope nonsense, you are free to just hold up, and you're just going to hold until you hit this triple speed mini ball portal. Also, for anyone who's struggling with this straight fly, let's say you're not that good at straight fly, you haven't practiced ship very often, less clicks is better results. You don't want to spam. Spamming gets you completely out of control in this straight fly. If I enable hitboxes here, this straight fly is a lot more open than the spike make it seem because of geometry-hitboxes. So just like that, I just did 6 total clicks. So when we land here, you're going to land on this platform, and we're going to click. You don't need to click because this is a blue pad. It's going to send you right back down. We go through this gap, and then you can basically just spam here until we hit the yellow orb. We can make contact with the yellow orb. We don't want to hit it. Once you reach the yellow orb, you just stop clicking, and then you wait, and then we'll resume clicking, and I'll show you what platform that is. Right there. So once we click on this little funny guy, you're going to land here. And if you hit the yellow orb, you're going to die because it's going to launch you into this spike here. We're going to stop clicking, then we're going to fall down here, and then we're going to resume clicking onto these platforms here. Just like that, and then once we hit this yellow portal, it's going to go boing, and then we're going to hit this 3 times speed portal. What you're going to want to do is, once you hit this yellow pad, you are free to start holding. We're just going to hold up into this next transition, just like that. Just hold, and then right before we hit this blue portal is when you can stop holding, and then we're going to let the ship go into the blue portal, and then when we hit the blue portal, we're going to do a light click to get through this gap. This isn't straight flying. I like to call it maneuver flying because we're maneuvering around the obstacles with very light clicks, with very controlled clicks. It's not straight fly. We're maneuvering up and down through these objects. Let go, and then light click. Very, very light click. In my experience playing this level, I have died so many more times to the top spike than the bottom spike. Just click as light as you can. Just like that. And once we clear this spike, this top spike, once we're through here, we can start clicking upward. This section's easy. You just go upward at a slight angle. And then once we clear this spike right here, you can stop going upward and just let go. Your ship is going to naturally fly down into this yellow portal. Right about slightly after we hit the yellow portal, we're going to do another tiny click because there's spikes that you can't see on the screen right now that we're going to want to dodge. So when we're at here, we're going to do a tiny click once we hit the yellow portal. This is going to give us enough momentum to get down this next section. Tiny click like that, and then once we're roughly around here, I like to use this deco right here, this very obvious deco, increase in deco here, to judge where I should start clicking. Right here, this spike is a great point to judge it. If you can track that at 3 times speed, you'll get used to the click pattern, but we're going to click and hold, but we don't want to hit this spike. This spike is very dangerous. So we're going to click and hold, and then right about here, we're going to stop so we can get through this gap here. So we're going to go through this gap, and then we're going to end up in this normal portal. And you want to click immediately after you hit that normal portal to get over the spike that's guarding it. Right here, as you can see, there's this spike here. And if you do not click immediately once you hit this normal portal, you will die. So we click, and then you can straight fly through here. And once we hit this slope, you just have to hold. We hold into the slope, and now we're in the ball section. So the ball section kind of just syncs with the music. I don't really have any advice for it. It's super easy compared to the rest of the level. Just practice it. It syncs with the music super well. There are some clicks here and there that are tighter than others and don't sync as well, but for the most part it syncs with the music. So now we arrived at, in my opinion, the most difficult section in the entire level, Michigun. The reason why this is difficult is because we have a bunch of 3 spike jumps in the dark, basically. We've got a straight fly in the dark, a really difficult UFO in the dark, a really difficult ball, a really difficult wave. It's a difficult dark section, so let's break it down. We have these 3 spike jumps. Now, you cannot click and hold. As you can see, if I click and hold, I will die. So you have to time them, just like that. It's a very, very tiny delay, which makes it frustrating. We cannot go into the ship from the bottom, because then we're going to have to fly upward. It's nasty. If you click and hold after you clear this last triple, so you go up here, you can dive down into this ship portal, and it's going to be so much easier, and I'll show you what that looks like. We click and hold, and then we can straight fly. In my opinion, spamming makes it more difficult, especially on mobile. Your thumb can sometimes, be difficult to spam with, and your clicks will be very inconsistent. Less is more. Just less is more. This ball, what we're going to want to do is, these are very, very, very tight clicks. This ball is more difficult than it looks. So if we're looking for a visual indication where to click, the best one in terms of like a ballpark are these red vertical lines. So it's not exactly on this. In fact, clicking exactly on this will get you killed slightly early. If you click just a tiny bit after, you'll clear them on all of them, and this rule holds true for every single one. Just like that. Now the first thing you're going to notice about the UFO is it's a 2-block gap. And it's consistent except for this spike right here, and then there's going to be another spike that dips down at the very end. So it's like we start out with this spike jutting out from the ground, and then on the other one it's going to come down from the ceiling. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to jump right about at the UFO portal to clear this first one, and then we're going to have to watch the bottom to make sure we're clicking at very, very late. It's very difficult. I've hit the ceiling multiple times, so I just recommend watching the ground spikes and making sure you're clicking at the ground spikes. And then when we reach the last click, we're going to click and hold up into the green. If we hold into the cube portal, we're going to jump over the first spike, and it's going to make it super easy. We do 3 spike jumps, and now we are at this wave section. The wave section, you can spam, you can do light clicks, it really doesn't matter. This wave section is pretty open. The end is the harder part of it. And then we spam through here. Again, the wave section is not too difficult. There are about 500 paths you can take. I just recommend practicing it and finding out which one works best for you, because depending on your refresh rate, how fast you can click, and the responsiveness of whatever thing you're using, it's going to vary person to person. Next we get to this duel. This duel looks intimidating, it's really not. We're going to wait until the bottom cube is on this platform right here. This, like, you can see how it's sort of jutted out. When he's right here, that's when we're going to click, and we're going to hit this pink orb on the other guy too, and it's going to work out. Just like that. With Evasium Strayfly, I just recommend staying as close to the bottom as you can. So you're at this mini wave. Once you clear it, and it's very, very open in my opinion, the harder part is this normal wave. You're gonna hold up into this green portal, and then once we hit the green portal, you can stop holding. Now, in this normal wave, there are 3 clicks. What we're going to do is we're going to click near the bottom here to go up and then down, and then we're going to click again to clear here, and then we're going to go back down, and then we're finally going to click into the UFO portal. 3 clicks. A lot of people try to spam and panic here. It's just 3 clicks, and I'll show you where they are. 3 clicks, just like that. Just like that. Now at the UFO, we're going to click right about where my UFO is actually. That's convenient. We're going to hit this yellow portal. We're going to do 2 clicks to hit these pink orbs, click into the yellow portal, and then 2 clicks on those pink orbs. We're going to fall down here, and there's going to be 2 clicks, 2 very fast clicks, 1, 2, and then we're going to hit this pink orb. So 3 clicks in total, and then we're going to hit the yellow portal. 1, 2, 3, and then once we hit the yellow portal, we're going to do 2 clicks again, and then hit the pink portal. So 3 clicks yet again. 3 clicks, just 1, 2, 3, and then once we hit the mini portal, we're going to do 2 clicks, 2 very rapid clicks to get into this gap here, and then we're going to go 1, 2, 3 to get back up, and there's going to be a normal gravity portal. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And then once we hit this normal gravity portal, what we're going to do is we're just going to spam on these pink orbs, and then once you clear the pink orbs, you're going to want to go spam as fast as you can into this 3 times ship portal, and we'll be in the next section. And we just spam up into this portal. Now, this is a very, very, very difficult section of the level. I would argue that it's harder than Michigun in my opinion, but some people say Michigun's harder. On mobile, this is going to be harder, I guarantee you. So when we're at this giant emblem with the forward pointing arrow, we're going to do a very light click, because this structure is way lower than it currently looks just because of the animations, but we're going to clear this we're going to try to clear this black mound. So we clear the black mound, and then we're going to want to click and hold through this structure, just like that. So once we clear the black mound, what we're going to do is we're going to have to click roughly around here, right before this bottom structure. We're going to click and hold to get through here. It's 3 times speed, so you're going to go like make a very, very long U shape, basically. Just like that. Keep your eyes on the top of the structure or else you'll hit the spike. Now the annoying part, as you can see, you can't hold to hit the ceiling of the structure, so you're going to have to straight fly this, and it's really difficult on mobile, I get it, but the hitboxes are somewhat forgiving. And now we get to this infamous straight fly. I do 2 clicks, just like that. Practice this section a lot because it's ship gameplay, and depending on your refresh rate, how fast you can click, how consistently you can click, it's going to vary person to person. So practice it, see which one works the best for you. Now when we arrive at this yellow orb, we're going to want to click right where my ship is, so when the thing's aligned, because you can click it when your ship's like back here, and that's going to make you hit this spike here. We're going to want to click it here, and then once we hit this normal speed portal, we're going to fall. And then we're going to click slightly before the green portal and then straight fly. Just like that. Now, something that's very annoying is this straight fly section is not aligned with this club step monster. As you can see, they're very slightly off, which makes it difficult to complete the straight fly. You can dip down if you want. You're not going to die if you're straight flying here. It's going to be very close, but you're going to want to dip down. And then the next monster is going to be down anyway, so it's beneficial to dip down. So we go through this monster, and then we just have to stay. All of these monsters are aligned the same way. As you can see, they have the top tooth is on the left and the bottom tooth is on the right, and they're all like this. So you just enter from the bottom and you exit at the top. Enter from the bottom, exit at the top. Just like that, and then we straight fly into this slow portal. Now this is a bit of a weird click, so if we look at the hitboxes here, the hitboxes are not as intimidating on this upside down spike as you might think. So we're going to wait a little bit and we're going to click. Now we're going to go through this tiny gap here. It's slow speed, so we're going to clear it. This spike right here is going to be the end of a lot of runs. if you don't learn how to click late on this yellow orb. Gonna want to click very late on this yellow orb and then click on this blue orb, and we're gonna go into the UFO section that's next. But it's very important that you learn how to click late. You saw how late I had to click that. It's super late. And then we're gonna hit the blue orb and be in the next section. So at this UFO, the first section, the click patterns aren't really of huge importance. The UFO is much more open at this starting section. So the first thing what I like to do is, once we're down here, I click 3 times to end up at the top half of this yellow portal. I'll go ahead and speed hack that to show you in real time. 1, 2, 3, and now, as you can see, when I hit the yellow portal, I end up in the very top half of it. Now we're super close to this ceiling of death, so what we're going to want to do is click 4 times to get up into this normal gravity portal, which is going to show up soon. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and once I hit it, I do 2 clicks, 1, 2, and then I click on that red dot, and then I click here, you click this, and then boom! This click is going to be super late on this normal gravity portal because we need to get our UFO aligned into this gap. So I'll go ahead and show that at normal speed now. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, late, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. Now, that mini UFO is super easy. You just go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. Now we're in this ball section. So there's invisible hitboxes here. They're like these kind of spikes, so you can see them from afar, but once you get close enough, they decide to disappear. So as you can see, they're on the very edges of both platforms, so we can't like click right about here. We're gonna hit this one. So what I like to do is wait until we're roughly at where you see this red dot. We're just going to wait until we're at that red dot. Once we clear that, we're just going to do what I did there. Just click down, hit this pink orb. That's not a hard timing, it's very generous. Now we're going to click onto this platform. This one has spikes, so we're going to fall. We're going to hit this yellow orb, and then hit this blue orb, and then hit this yellow orb. Avoid this blue orb here. Then we're going to hit all of these orbs, and then we're going to go into the spam, quote-unquote spam section. You don't even have to hit any of those orbs. These are all fake outs. Just ignore this blue orb, ignore the blue orb in here, and we'll end up in the spam section. Now this spam section, there's a lot of orbs, as you can see. There's 9 in fact, but you only have to click 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, and then hit those orbs, and then we're into this cutscene area. Etzer, this is a huge choke point. You need to practice this UFO because it's very difficult and not friendly, and the hitboxes are tight, and it's just hard overall. So with Etzer, what we're going to do is we're going to wait until we're within this gap, and then we're going to click. Now this blue orb right here is pretty late, and that is the only late timing in these first 4 clicks. So we're going to click, we're going to wait a little bit, then we're going to hit the blue orb, and then you can click twice very fast, just like that. Now what's going to happen is we're going to click once to get onto this platform and then hit this pink orb. We hit the pink orb. Once we hit the pink orb, what we're going to do is we're going to click in this gap here, and we're going to hit all of these orbs. There's going to be 4 portals with orbs. We're going to hit all of them. Now the nice thing about these 4 portals is they have the exact same click pattern as the first UFO. We have 4 clicks. The first one, then the second one's late, and then the other ones you can click as fast as you want. Wait on that one, click the other ones fast. Now this transition is a bit iffy. Once we get into here, we want to start slowly, meticulously clicking down. And once we reach the yellow orb, stop clicking. You don't want to hit the yellow orb. What's going to happen is there's fake spikes on the ground here that we're going to slide on, and then we're going to go into the next section. So in real time, that's going to look like this. Just like that, and then we're going to fly into here. Now once we hit this 3 times speed portal, stop clicking, and then we can resume clicking at the bottom here. This is a pretty difficult straight fly. Okay, so now once we reach these 4 clicks here, we're going to want to be very conservative with these clicks. We're going to want to click them right when we're on them, like sort of like where my UFO is now. You don't want to click them early because they're very, very picky. You want to click them when you're aligned with them. Okay, so once you do those clicks, what you're going to want to do is you'll notice there's another gravity change. Now with gravity changes in ship, like I said before, you don't want to click on top of it. What's going to happen is we're going to hit the gravity change, and then right after we change gravity is when you're going to start straight flying. Just like that. So with this ball section, what we're going to do is we're going to click, and hit this yellow orb. Just like that. Then we're going to click off of the platform, hit this blue orb very late, and then we're going to land here. We're going to click again, and once we hit the yellow portal, we're going to hit the blue orb. What's going to happen is when we click off this platform, we're going to be normal gravity. If we buffer the blue orb, it's going to send us over here. We don't want that. We're going to click down. This portal is going to change our gravity back to upside down, and then if we hit the blue orb, we're going to go back to normal. Now normally that would look like it's stupid because look, we're hitting these spikes here, right? But if I enable hitboxes, you can see there's invisible blocks here, which are sort of indicated by the lack of this red decoration. And then once we're on the invisible blocks, we can click off of them to hit this 3x speed portal on this platform. Just like that. And then we hit 3 of those orbs. You don't want to hit the last one. Just 3 of them. So in this UFO section, we're not going to click until we hit this normal portal. And we're going to click right about here, and then we're going to hit the blue orb. So we kind of do like a very fast 2 clicks. Then we're going to wait, we're going to do another fast 2 clicks, and then we're going to hit a yellow orb. 2 clicks, 2 clicks, and then the yellow orb. Not many tips I can give on the wave section, it's just wave, there's no tips or tricks, really. Now we hit Giron's part. This is a very difficult ship, especially because it's at 87%, so your nerves are already going crazy. We're going to do 3 light clicks, and then there's going to be a yellow orb. We're going to hit that yellow orb, we're going to fly up into this normal portal with a pink orb, we're going to hit that. So 3 clicks, and then as you can see, we have this yellow orb, we're going to click that, we're going to click this, and then we're going to hold on this, and we're going to fly through here, click and hold this yellow orb. A lot of people, when they practice this, including me, when I was learning it for the first time, they tend to overcomplicate it. They think it's like impossible. It's just 3 clicks, and then you just hit an orb, and then you hold. Just like that. Now this duel, a lot of people get confused by. We're going to land, and then we're going to click, and that's going to enable us to hit this yellow orb for the bottom and the pink orb for the top. Then we're going to want to click and hold on this blue orb. And what's going to happen is the bottom guy, once he hits the blue orb, he's going to land on this portal before the top guy. It's going to be very ever so slightly before. And the reason why we're holding is so the mini guy can click and hold off this platform to clear this jump. And then we're going to immediately let go once he hits the jump to let the other guy fall and not hit this spike. I'll show you what that looks like on slow speed. Click, and then click and hold. He's going to jump, and then you let go. Click, jump, let go, and the other guy won't jump, and then we're in the next section. Now in real time, that looks like this. So now we're at the final stretch. We're going to want to click off of this platform, then we're going to fall onto this one and click off. This blue orb is about as late as you can make a blue orb, and believe it or not, it was even more late in a previous version of Bloodbath, but Riot decided to nerf it. Late, and then we're going to land on this platform. Now on this platform, we're going to click off into the UFO and then jump as the UFO and hit this blue orb. You want to hit this blue orb relatively late. It's not going to be as late as it can possibly be, but you definitely don't want to hit it early. Just like that. And then once we're in here, this is memory by the way, we're going to land here. You're going to want to click. This pad is going to bounce you back down, so click again, then click again onto this platform, and then we can actually go through this spike structure. Just like that. Once we've arrived here, we're going to click down to hit here. And then once we land here, we're going to immediately click off of it again to land on the edge of this one. And we're going to click again to land here. Just like that. Then once we're here, we're going to click onto this platform. And then there's actually a gap here. You can kind of see it in the decoration. So we're going to go up and then back down. And then you're going to want to click again to reverse gravity. We're going to dodge these spikes using this platform, and then we're through onto the last triple spike. Now there's actually 2 ways to do this. You can click at the very last frame to jump on top of the GG, or you can just do the triple spike like a normal person. You can't actually buffer it, as you can see that spike prevents you, so it's actually a timed jump. And I can't do it. There we go. Or you could just do the normal 3 spike jump, and you're done with Bloodbath.